Hi everybody, I'm Trin Johnson and welcome to Dust in My Eye. About a year ago in July, I started doing tiny paintings on my channel. Every day I would do a short of a tiny painting. And I did them till, sometime after Halloween. I finally stopped doing it daily. And I always meant to go through and do a tiny painting tour. But in the end, I ended up with over 100 paintings in that series. There was probably 110, 115 paintings. And we would be here a very long time if I went through all of them. So what I did was I had them all in order of how I painted them, and I went through and I picked out all the Halloween ones, and maybe I'll do a little tour of the Halloween ones closer to Halloween. And then I picked out, I separated them according to whether they were pastel, watercolor, alcohol ink, or gouache. And then I went through those and just picked a few of like a little sample. And I'm going to do a little tiny painting tour. So if you'd like that sort of thing, please stick around. And while I'm thinking about it, if you would hit that like button, that would be fantastic. And if you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified of future videos, hit the cute little bell. And all that helps me keep making these videos. So that would be really, really, really appreciated. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to start with my first one. And this was my very first painting. I'm going to get it here, and I'm going to get you closer because I think you'll be able to see them better. So this one was alcohol ink, and it's an oddity in that I didn't do it in this direction. I did it in this direction. And after this one, I don't think I did any more of them that in landscape. I think they were all portraits. So this was my first one. And months later, this was the last one that I did that was in this tiny painting. Let's straighten out a little bit mode. And this one is gouache. So there's a bunch in between. So let me just take you with me. I'm going to go through the pastel ones first, and then I'm going to do my gouache ones, and then my alcohol ink ones, and then my watercolors. So if there's one particular thing that appeals to you, that's the order I'm doing them in. So this is the first pastel that I'm going to show you, and it is on not the best of pastel paper. It's a thin pad that's really cheap, and I will try and remember what the name of it is and put it down in the comments or the description. But I don't really enjoy painting on it, but I thought for this it would work all right, and it was okay. Not my favorite. The next one I want to show you is this one, and this one is on nicer paper. I think it's on a Lux Archival or one of those kinds of papers. It's a sanded paper, and this one went on a little better, a little more to my liking. It's a campfire up at our cottage from a reference photo. And then there's this one, which is a little path in the woods. And these are very short, and then they're sped up. So all of these, you can see the full video of me painting them sped up because it's a short. If you are interested, then there's this one. This was a nice little bunch of wildflowers. I always like a bunch of wildflowers. I think that's a lot of fun. And then I have some birch trees. I've painted these birch trees a lot. I painted them years ago in watercolor and sold that painting at a gallery show in our local gallery. And I have painted them. There's another one of them coming up later in this. I've painted them in all sorts of mediums. For this one, I sat on our deck and painted the trees plein air. So that was kind of a fun way. And then this one is, there's a bike path, walking path near us. And that one, it was a field and there were cows often. I think they were over here right now. And Queen Anne's lace, I love Queen Anne's lace. And there's a barn over here in the valley. And I just took a bunch of pictures, and I've painted this a few different times too, different versions of it, different views. But that one also is in nice paper. You can tell the difference between the nice paper and the not as nice paper. And this is the gouache ones. And first I have this little cow. He was in a field on the way to the cottage. We stopped and pulled over on the side of the road and took a bunch of pictures. I have a full-length video of these cows in the trees. That I think is on my, it's a full-length video. It's on the channel. So if you're interested in that. And then I have this one, which I believe is Stony Creek, which is a metro park near us. And these are all gouache. That was a lot of fun to paint. And this one is an acorn. It was a really cool picture on Pixabay or Pexels.com. I'm not sure which one I got it from, but it was a cute little picture. And these two, these next three are owls, and these were all from either Pexels or Pixabay. This little tufty guy, I know they have a name. Horned owl? Is he a horned owl? I'm not sure. And this little one, kind of foofy. And then there's another version of the guy with the big spikies. And then I have, last but not least, this picture. This is Mackinac Island, and up on the bluff. And I took a lot of reference photos up there too, and have painted these scenes a lot. Also, favorite place to take photos and paint from them. Sometimes we even paint in person there too, which is kind of fun. And then the next group I have is alcohol inks. And I have this little guy, which is a nice little floral. Very quick and easy to paint these. These are really, really quick. This one, I was painting some koi. You can see I was in a... I didn't really know what I was painting. I just started putting some color down, and it turned into fish. And this, we have a lot of interesting trees on the beach up on some rocks and on the bluff. And that's what that is. I lost one there. And I can't remember. I think this might be from a reference photo that I had on my phone, but I'm not sure what exactly it was. And this are some blueberry kind of flowers, which are always fun to do with alcohol ink. Little roses kinds of things. And then this one is just kind of a fun little colorful alcohol ink piece, and then I did some doodling on it. And it's always fun to doodle on top of them. I don't like to do it all the time, but it is fun. And now I have my watercolors. And the first one I picked here is, he's a Beanie Baby, a bigger one. And I really like him because he's very, very fuzzy. kiwi. He's a kiwi. That's what he is. And then that was kind of fun because he was very splotchy. And I did some ink work on top of it when I was done painting him. And then this is a coneflower. And I took this reference on Mackinac also. And this one does have some gouache on it too. It's gouache and watercolor. I am not a purist, so a lot of times they'll have a little bit of gouache on them if it needs it. And this one I think I just made up out of my head of a nice little barn and field. And this one is a picture I took in Ireland of a raven, and he was sitting on this wrought iron fence and looking really cool. And it's a little pen and ink and watercolor. And this is from one of our walks. There are these weeds that are very thistly, and I like to take it on where it focuses up really close and blurs the background, and I think that's what this reference photo was like. And this little pen and ink with a little wash, that's my son and daughter-in-law's kitty, and he lives in Chile. So I paint a picture of him. And this one is, I think, from a cottage when the water was up really high, because you can see you can't even walk around the trees, and right now we have beach out, way out. So but that year you just couldn't really take a walk. There was no beach to walk on. And we were painting leaves in my watercolor class, and so I decided to paint one for a short, and that's what that one is. And then last but not least is the other version that I have in this pile of the birch trees that I painted in pastel. Only this time it was watercolor, and there were no leaves on them at this time of year when I took the reference photo. So I hope this was fun. I had a ball painting all these. They're like, you can see there was just piles of them. And this is only, maybe a fifth, quarter to a fifth of how many I did. And it was kind of hard to choose. So some of them may turn up later in another video. Like I said, I might do one of the Halloween-y stuff because they were kind of fun. And anyway, please check out my Etsy shop where I have prints of my artwork and some original artwork and all my cute little monsters for sale. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.